Welcome to Dear AM. This is a segment that we decided to introduce because of a letter that was sent to us. You know, we're no relationship experts, but we discuss issues on the show, and somebody felt that, okay, you know, guys, this is what I'm going through. Let me run it by you. Let's see what comes out of it. So Kojo and I are going to deal with this segment, but we're no experts.
No.
So we're just going to read the letter that we received. We'll see how much of sense we can make out of it, or how much sense we can contribute, because you know we don't always make sense with our contributions. And then we'll see if we need help with it, and then we can call in somebody who can you know, help. Absolutely. So first of all, I want to read the letter that was addressed to us, Kojo.
That's right.
Dear AM.
Yes, the message is from a viewer who wants to be referred to as Lucia. The issue is rather simple. Mama V will tell us all about it, and then we'll hear from you. So Mama V.
Okay. So this, Dear AM, you can call me Akusia. I've been watching you often, especially when you talk about relationships on Fridays, and I learned so much from you each day. After praying about my predicament for some time, it has become clear to me that my best chance of a solution is to put this before you, your colleagues and your listeners. I'm sure somebody would say something that might lead to a way out. So that's the opening of this letter addressed to us. So we all have to pay attention to it, because we all have to help Akusia out of this. Who knows, you might also be going through the same. In fact, I'm losing my mind. I can't sleep, I'm not eating, I catch myself bursting into tears without warning. I'm always deep in thoughts, and it's beginning to affect my work. You see, I'm in love with the most wonderful man. He's smart, loving, sensitive, thoughtful, kind, and the most supportive and encouraging partner anyone could ask for. He loves me to bits and wants us to get married. It's all a dream come true. We've been together for over a year, and this man is perfectly made for me. But I'm afraid we will have to throw it all away. Why? Because he was once involved with my friend. So I'm sure you see where we are going with this letter. It's beginning to make sense, particularly from the last paragraph. Let me start from the beginning. My friend, let's call her Della, is a very special person in my life. We've been friends for almost 5 years, and she's been amazing to me. She's like the older sister I never had. I got my current job through her, and she's always been my biggest cheerleader. I confide in her, and she gives me great advice. We have a larger circle of other friends, but she keeps me closest to her. The first time I met my man, and we're calling him Joe, he was sitting at a table with Della in a restaurant. She introduced me to him as a friend. In fact, at the time, I knew she was dating someone else. So it never crossed my mind that they might be romantically involved in any way. Later, I even playfully asked Della what she was doing with such a handsome man when she had a boyfriend. And she simply said, "Oh, Joe is just a friend. Even if I was single, cry, he's not my type." About 6 months later, I met Joe again at a corporate event. We had the most amazing conversation, exchanged numbers, and started to communicate via phone calls and texts. Over the next few months, we became very attracted to each other as we got to know each other more and more. On the day we decided to start a relationship, he revealed to me that he and Della had actually had a brief fling back when I saw them together all those months ago. He said they were intimate, but things never developed into a relationship because he discovered Della had a boyfriend. Dear AM, I was a bit disturbed to hear this, but I figured it couldn't be that much of an issue, especially since they were never in an actual relationship. Plus, I had fallen for Joe and was focused on making things work rather than breaking things up. I decided to talk to Della about it, but somehow I could never quite figure out how to start the conversation. Maybe I was nervous about how awkward the conversation might be, even though I knew I had done nothing wrong. After all, Joe and I didn't even become friends until months after his involvement with Della ended. So I never brought it up. But I had a feeling she was aware, because I would sometimes get calls or texts from Joe while I was with her, but she never said a word. So So things developed between us over the 8 months. My family got on wonderfully with Joe, and his parents have practically adopted me as one of their own. When Joe proposed to me last month, I wasn't the only one who was over the moon. His brothers in the US were jumping and shouting with joy when we told them. Okay, so we're going to come back to where we left off. So I wasn't the only one who was over the moon. His brothers in the US were jumping and shouting with joy when we told them the news in the funniest Skype call I've ever had. And as for my younger brother and sister, they have already started planning our wedding into details. There's something missing. I guess that's the biggest issue for Akusia to deal with. We'll come to that. The problems began when I told my other friends about it. You see, Joe and I had kept our relationship quite private up until the point where we proposed, or where he proposed. So none of my friends had any idea who I was dating. When I told them, their reaction was strange. The whole room went quiet, and they exchanged funny glances with each other. So later, 3 of them came and spoke to me individually. One asked me why I was taking my best friend's leftovers. Another accused me of actually stealing Joe from Della. And no matter how much I explained, she still stared at me with a funny look. But it was the third friend's comment that disturbed me the most. She said, "This would destroy your relationship with Della. How can you do this after all she's done for you?" Dear AM, I have not had a full night's sleep since that day. Even though I anticipated some awkwardness when I finally talked to Della about Joe, I was sure things would work out between us. I know my friend, and I know how much she wants me to be happy. After crying with me over my ex who treated me like dirt, I knew she would ultimately be happy for me once she saw how happy Joe and I were together. I did not expect her to be unreasonable about it, especially since she still had a boyfriend and never actually had a relationship with Joe. But I had never considered what other people would think, what other people would say. I never thought of that. Our friends could really poison the relationship between Della and I would end up losing my closest friend who has always trusted and relied on me. In fact, I don't know if they've already started. Dear AM, just thinking about it makes me start sweating and shaking. I love this man. After the horrible and abusive relationships I've endured, I don't believe God sent somebody so wonderful into my life just to let him slip away. But I cannot let my best friend feel betrayed by me. I cannot hurt or disappoint her after everything she has done for me. Right now, I feel like I must either lose the best friend I ever had or the best man I ever had, unless you can think of a way for me to keep them both. Please, for the love of God, help me. So this is the letter that we got, quite lengthy, but we wanted to appreciate everything in context, so we had to read all to you. Have you been in love with somebody that a friend once had something to do with?
No, I've never been in love with a friend's, ex or anybody who has been involved with a friend. But I mean, this letter made me imagine such a scenario. I imagine myself in each of the 3 people's shoes. So I imagine myself as the guy who has dated someone, and I'm now dating someone else who is was friends with the one I dated earlier. And I thought to myself, well, if I'm done with the first person, that should have nothing to do my relationship with the second one. But I did think about what others would say, you know, and whether I certainly I'm not bothered by what people say, especially when it comes to what makes me, you know, happy, as long as I'm not hurting anyone. But I imagined how she would feel and whether she would feel stigmatized by it and so forth. I also imagined myself as a person whose ex is now dating my friend. You know, how would I feel about that? And I thought, yeah, I mean, okay, first of all, this is my ex. Why do I care, or why do I have a say in who they are dating? But at the same time, if I have to keep seeing them in circles, and you know, I wonder what my friend will be thinking when he's with her. Will he be wondering, oh, what were things like when they were together? Or, you know, will he be thinking about how intimate we were? You know, in this story, in this letter, Akosia's friend was intimate with Joe, right? Akosia's friend is Della, right? Della was intimate with Joe. So I wonder what goes through Akosia's mind when she is with Joe, you know? So, yeah, those things would come up, but I wonder whether that should be a reason why they can't be together, you know? It's a tough one. Yeah,
I also haven't been there, and that's why we're going to throw it out to all of us to see if we can figure it. If we can't, then we'll have to ask for external help. So you can give us a call, 0302-211-691 or 20302-211-69102. I haven't been in this situation before, but I have a best friend, Caroline, and I was just thinking, would she be cool if I dated her ex? I think she'll be okay, but I'm not sure I'll be comfortable doing that myself.
Why not?
I don't even know. I don't even know. But I just feel like, okay, so first of all, I feel the guys that she like, they're not guys that I would like, you know, like we've got different tastes.
You're thinking about it on a practical level.
Exactly. Because I had to make it real to be able to relate to it.
Right.
I can't just sit down and say, oh, Caroline will be okay with it. So, but I felt, okay, she's got like a different tastes kind of, and I also do. But just in case there was somebody that she broke up with and I happen to like the person, what would she do? She'll be absolutely okay with it. But for me, would I be totally comfortable with it? I don't think so. Right. And I don't know why. I know you asked me why. I don't know why. I've come back. I don't know why.
Well, let's talk to a few of you. Maxwell Apia is calling us from Tichiman. Maxwell, good morning.
So Joe and then Mama V. It's a start something this morning. I don't know. But very quick, your voice is very low this one. The two of you, I don't know if you are tired.
We are low?
Yes, okay. Your voice are very low this morning. I don't know if you are tired.
Thank you for that.
We can't be tired. No way.
Thank you for that. We'll check it, okay? It might be a technical thing, but we appreciate that.
It's a very tight situation. You know, it's like a second. This thing is like something. I think they shouldn't continue. The guy is a player. Let me put it this way straight. The guy is a player. Because if should Della come back to the marriage, Della can never miss their marriage. Like Della can never miss it because she will be interested in what will happen later in their marriage. She'll be interested in getting closer to their marriage. She'll feel like, oh, I don't care. But 2 years, 3 years down the line, Della can have something to do with the guy. It can happen. How they met the first time, nobody has an idea. It could happen. Someone helped someone in a way. I don't know if you get me. That's how they met. Yes. So 2 years, 3 years down the line, they can meet somewhere again. Because Akosia is a human being. She can mistakenly do something. She can do something that the guy doesn't like. And then they will go back. They will go back and then we start talking about what, then the guy will say, this thing that you were doing to me, Akosia is not doing it. Oh, this thing you were doing, Akosia, I didn't know Akosia is like this. Your friend is like, they will start meeting, they will date again. But it's reality. It's something. It's whatever you throw to the wall, it will come back to you.
Right.
I think the girl should sit down with the friend, tell her, we are friends. We were friends before we met this guy. What do we do? Yes, the law will say, oh, I don't mind. Go, that thing. I don't want to break up your this. But it will wait 2 years, 3 years. It has happened. This thing has happened before. It has happened. And it will happen. They will definitely meet again. So me, I think the girls should forget about broken hearts are there. She should forget, concentrate on the girls' relationship, the friendship.
Okay.
And then move on.
All right, Maxwell. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you, Maxwell.
We appreciate. I don't know if we still have Emmanuel on the line. Emmanuel Mensah in Tamale. Okay, I think we kept you on rather too long. We lost you. Please give us a call again. 0302-211-69102. And Kojo, I like where Maxwell took us beyond just the relationship into the marriage. And it occurred to me, so Della and Joe are friends, so they're still friends. Because even after the breakup, they're still together. You know, like they're together as friends.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
because that's where.
Yeah,
that's
it doesn't sound like they're
Akosia,
enemies.
Exactly. That's where Akosia at least met them.
Because
even when Della was still in the relationship, she was still seeing.
From what I read, it sounds like at the time Della met them, they were involved. But then no, at the time Akosia met them together, they were involved. But then Akosia met him again 6 months later, and that's when they became friends. So that was 6 months later.
Okay.
So
this is to say that
Della and him are still friends.
Stopped being friends with Joe.
I don't know. I don't know. It's not clear. It's not clear.
That could also be possible.
Yeah.
But we've got Michael. Michael is in Adomabo. Could just hometown annex. Michael, good morning. Thank you for calling us.
Good morning.
Yeah, I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing good, thank you.
Okay. Oh, I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for asking. So, any solutions to what's been presented to us?
Yeah, you see, the problem is, from what you just read, I just woke up and I just saw it on the screen.
Okay.
You see, it all starts from how they broke up. That's Della and the guy.
Joe.
You see, in the part of our world, the way we break up is so awkward. You see, we don't get to understand each other before we break up. So that when we break up with curses. You understand? Instead of us to sit down and really talk about issues, and then we understand each other and we break up, we don't do that. So at the end of the day, everyone wants a revenge. So that is what will make Della maybe would want to come back, as the first guy who called was saying.
Maxwell.
You know that if they had had a genuine and an amicable settlement, this shouldn't be an issue. After all, she wasn't even an ex. She was just a friend. Something happened, and then maybe she had a crush on him, and then they became intimate, and it happened. You understand? So they were not even dating. This shouldn't be a problem.
So what about the friends? What about the friends and what they think about the relationship?
No, they are just being jealous. They know the truth. They know Della and the guy never even dated. They know. Probably Della is still interested in the guy. That's why I said they never maybe got away from each other perfectly.
So what should Akosia do?
So now the only thing the girl can do, she should be brave enough. She should forget about her friend and just move on. That's a marriage. You should think about that too.
All right.
If she can't break the guy's heart, then she can't even think of considering the relationship with a friend to the family. No.
Okay. No. All right. Thank you, Michael. Let's talk to Godwin Kojo.
Yeah, hi Godwin. Godwin Kobna is in Adidome, right?
Yeah.
Adidome.
Good morning. Good morning this morning.
Good morning, Godwin. Thanks for calling us.
Thanks for picking my call. Kojo, in life, you have to let go some friends at a point in time. Let me say, I am not advising that Akosia let go Della. But if Della felt he has to go, he has to go. Besides, for the story, Akosia said the first time she spoke to Della about Joe, Della said frankly that Joe is not my type of guy. It's not somebody I want to date, not somebody I'm going out with. Now, I have found somebody you said you are not ready to date. Why is an issue with that? If Della felt that guy is my guy, why didn't you go out with him? So if today somebody has found that person, the fact that Della and Joe has broken up doesn't mean that Joe didn't get married again. Now, if it is somebody that Akosia has found and it is like that, what is wrong? What is the big deal? So if Della felt bad about it, then Della is being unfair to Akosia because first, she told Akosia that it's not anything to her. About the friends are just being jealous. In fact, in life, No, it's some people who are there who will never be happy because you are progressing. There are some people who will never be happy because you are going out and they are single. So probably that is what I think. If Akosia wants marriage, if Akosia wants to get married, if she's sure she's happy with this guy, you should not necessarily be concerned about many friends and what many friends are going to feel and do.
You don't think the friends are trying to protect her relationship with Della?
That is what I'm saying. The friend between Della is what she makes. I was even trying to say I disagree with somebody who says that they may come back because they were not in relationship per what the letter shows us. They were not in such a relationship that may want to. In fact, if you are in a relationship with somebody, then you can try remembering the past time you spent together. That may try to rejoin you. But now you were just trying to, and things didn't work out, and you go your separate way. So the friends trying to bring them together or trying to protect that relationship. It is how Akosia and Della try to trash out this issue. But it shouldn't be any big deal for me.
Thank you, Godwin, and our regards to everybody in Adidome.
Let's go to Nima. Nima is just not too far from us. Abu, good morning.
Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Thanks for joining us. What's your thought on this?
Akosia is the one. Good morning to your question. Akosia. Hello.
Yes.
Abu, you're on air. Abu, turn down the volume on your television set. Let's do it.
The volume on my television set is even off.
Okay, good.
Okay, fantastic. So let's go on.
My name is Abu Mohammed. Akosia is the one in dilemma, right? It's the one in dilemma.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I think Akosia has gotten herself the best husband on the earth.
Okay.
Yes.
But she's in the process of also losing friends.
She's not losing anything. She's not losing any friends. She's not losing. Read the letter carefully. Akosia is not losing any friends. The only thing that she's doing is just complicating issue for herself. She's not losing any friends.
Okay.
That lady, according to your letter, clearly is not a friend of that guy. And I don't even believe they didn't date it. I don't even believe that. Yeah, look, I had something I would like to share with you, but I want it to be offline. Because even if possible, I can drive your end and come and say it so that you send it to Akosia, and then you will have a good life.
Okay.
You had the best husband.
Okay. All right.
Most of the good mama marriage comes from this kind of situation. Most of good marriage comes from this situation. When one treated somebody bad and somebody comes into it, and then it goes on and becomes something good.
Okay.
So I wish Akosia the best of luck.
Okay.
Go ahead and do what you do. Since you said the guy is a wonderful man, he is, I believe.
All right, Abu, thank you very much. That's another perspective to this whole conversation in terms of friends. Well, I believe actually that you don't need many friends if you've got one, because you can't say you I don't know how you can live without at least a friend.
And you know, you're right. And sometimes loyalty between friends is something that is really valued, especially if you have a friend who has been there for you and done so many things for you. You feel a certain allegiance to that friend, and you feel like that allegiance should supersede everything. You know, boys have this thing that they say amongst each other. They say bros before hoes, right? So basically a friendship between two guys should supersede anything that a woman, you know, could cause, or any problem that a woman could cause. So you can in some ways understand why Akosia is so conflicted. But in the end, does she have to lose even one of them? Does she have to lose anyone?
The thing is this, Della is not saying anything about Joe. Because if you're my friend and I feel something for the guy that you're going to marry, if I still feel something for the person, I should be able to tell you. I should be able to say that, you know what, I'm not comfortable with this situation that you find yourself in, but I see that you are happy. But I don't think that going forward I can continue to be friends with you. Because once we're friends, you bring your issues, you bring your issues to me. And I can't deal with it. I can't face the two of you. I can't even be at your wedding. If she is uncomfortable, she should be able to say that.
Something. But that is assuming she knows that they are dating, because Akosia doesn't seem sure whether or not
they
Della
dated.
knows that she, Akosia, is now dating.
Oh no, finally towards the end of the letter, so finally she knows.
She knows, okay.
Yes, finally she knows.
Well, let's speak to Lord Lomote in Takrade. Lord, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm very well. Good of you to call us. What do you think about all this?
First of all, kudos to you and Mamadi. We've been following you guys. You are doing a great job. And then I have only three things to say to Kelly. First of all, marriage has process. To get to marriage, you have process. Okay. And let me jump straight to one of the processes. One of the processes is counseling. I was even surprised you don't have counselors with trust on your program. This very thing, it should be there. You see, he will say it the hard way, and it's the truth. You see, so coming back to the process, counseling is one of the process, the most important part to marriage. If you are not, I don't know why Akosia should be in a fix right now. She should get counseling. Secondly, you see, you choosing between a friend and another friend should not be a difficult thing, because it's about maturity. Okay? And if it is necessary to have a choice, you think about long term. So thinking about the long term is the most important thing. Okay? Now, thirdly, why is she thinking about third parties? I mean, any other person who is not involved in their relationship. She should know that relationship is not marriage. Relationship itself is not marriage. It's not recognized by law or anything. Relationship can break. You can, in fact, dating itself is not even something that we can call marriage. So she should have these things in mind, that nobody can decide for her as an individual. Because when you get into marriage, getting out is difficult. It's a lifetime investment. You can't, in fact, you can't come out of it. So she should take very, very, very cautious steps towards this thing, because she's going to enter into some arena she can't come out.
So would you go ahead with it or not if you were in her shoes?
Yeah, if I were in her shoes, I would do the needful by going for counseling.
Okay.
That's what I would go. Yes, because the counselors, they've learned. They know all these things inside out. They've had similar issues. They can give me examples. They can teach me what to do. I'll also go to the Word of God. I'm even surprised she said she prayed, and she's still asking people, because the Holy Spirit should be able to reveal certain things to you as an individual. The Holy Spirit knows you better than you.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you very much. We appreciate that that call.
Let's speak to Darlington. Darlington, I'm wise in Koforidua. Darlington, good morning. Thank you for holding on. Let's hear your thoughts. Oh, I'm very well, thank you.
First of all, Akosia has lost a friend. Whether the relationship continues or not, she has lost a friend. The way the friendship was can never be the same going forward, no matter what. The mere fact that Akosia has dated a guy who isn't purported to be the last ex alone masks the friendship. And since that the love would have shared with Akosia, he can no longer share with her going forward. So that friendship is already gone.
Okay.
And it is gone. The focus will not be on her relationship.
Okay.
My concern is that the lad and the guy, to an extent, didn't have a relationship. They were just having sex. It may so be that the guy knew the best guy or boyfriend, and the two were just sexually attracted to themselves, and they were just having fun. And that is why none of them was bold enough to let Akosia know from the beginning, because they knew what they were doing. So if Akosia could get ahead, the guy, the concern is to do some background check on the guy very well, to know whether the guy indeed can be sexually disciplined.
Okay.
Then going forward, you continue the relationship.
Okay.
And then also put measures to prevent the guy and then the lad from coming together or something like that. Because you are sexually attracted.
Aha, because I was going to say that when you're sexually attracted to someone, it doesn't just go away because you've met another person or you're getting married.
Exactly.
Aha. So thank you for touching on that. Very important. Thank you very much for bringing Darlington in Koforidua for bringing that thought. All right. So the point is we can't deal with this matter all by ourselves, and we've heard your thoughts. But why don't we speak to somebody who is well versed? This story, as we're struggling with it, she may not struggle with it because she's had a lot of issues to deal with on this, and that's why we're speaking to Mama Flora Saki, who joins us via live stream now, Kojo, for a conversation.
Indeed, Mama Flora, thank you so much for making the time to be with us. It's good to see you, and we need your help.
Yeah.
So I know you've read.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So I know you've read the letter. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, please. Yeah. Well, thank you. Okay. I think should.
Yes, you can go ahead. We're listening.
Okay. I think that Akosia should weigh the two relationships together and find out which one will be more significant for her future. If I were in her place, I would think that, premarital relationships do not necessarily end in marriage. So if Della and Joe did not marry, it is nothing new, nothing, unusual. And then also, whenever anybody marries, somebody somewhere is disappointed, somebody somewhere is envious, somebody somewhere is angry and all that. And she should spill the beans before her friend Della, tell her what's been going on between her and Joe, and then even find out if what Joe has been telling her is all true. And then she can decide from then on. When she trashes out things with Della may leave her company or may shun her. That's normal. We don't keep all the friends we have in every season of life. Our friends change with the different seasons. I don't have the friends I had in secondary school or at the university. I don't have them now. Now my good friends or close friends are those who are in the same church with me or who are in ministry with me. So friends change. If Della and the other ladies shun her because of her relationship with Joe, that's okay. We live in a culture where the ultimate for a woman is to get married and hopefully have children. So she should look at what is more significant or what will be more significant for her in the years ahead. If Della leaves her, it's one of those things. She'll make another friend somewhere. But if she thinks that Joe is a promising husband to be and he's a gift from the Lord, and if I were her, I would take a good look at that. After all, Della denied that there was any special relationship between her and Joe. And she said Joe was, he was just a friend and not even her type. And so one man's poison is another man's meat is another man's poison. If Della claims that she doesn't have any special interest in Joe, and Della Akosia wants to go for him, that's fine. So if I were her, I would look at the future, which of the two relationships will be more important. And after all, Della was not married to Joe, and she even denied that there was any special, connection between them. So I would look at the future, what will be more significant, more, useful to me. And if she thinks that Joe is a gift from God and is a potential, good husband to be, why not take a look at that? I would consider that more than the relationship with Della, because the other friends, they can ridicule, they can laugh, they can whatever. It's one of those things. It happens in life. It's not something unusual. So I will look at what will be more important to me in the years ahead than the one now. After all, we don't keep all relationships forever.
Yeah.
Some friends change with the changing seasons of our life.
Mama Flora, let me ask you this. I mean, it is clear that Akosua really values her relationship with Della. That is why she's in a dilemma. So, is there not a possibility that if she speaks to Della and spills the beans, like you advise, and for some reason that destroys her relationship with Della, could that not cause some resentment in Akosua towards Joe? Would she not end up blaming him for losing her friend Akosua? Della?
Well, it's possible that Della may be offended, but it's one of those things. You can even lose a sister or a brother's or even parents' loyal support when you take a stand that is, contrary to what they expect from you. So she can, Della may be angry, but she shouldn't take that, vent her anger on Joe. It's one of those, whenever we gain something, we also lose something. I know when I was getting married, a friend just teased me and said, do you know who got offended when, Mr. Saki married you? I mean, it's like that. You lose some friends, you also gain some friends. But looking at the future, I believe that the future with, Joe, if Joe is a genuine and sincere person and a promising husband to be, that would be more significant than Della. She has been good to her over the years, fine. Our parents are even, they look after us and all that, but sometimes you don't necessarily go their way or do what they really want. So I don't think it may affect the relationship, fine, but you can also have other relationships in the course of the future, the years ahead.
So, Mama Video.
Yeah, Mama Flora, I was thinking about somebody who is sexually attracted to another. So in this case, Joe and Della didn't really have a relationship, but they had some kind of connection. Isn't there the fear that if Akosua goes ahead and marries Joe, Della and Joe could get together sometime in the future, not to start a relationship, but just to continue to have fun?
Then, if she believes that Joe is a promising person and the husband, and he expects him to be faithful, that shouldn't happen. And she can also, pray for the protection of her marriage and all that. So, in our culture, we value, marriage, we value children, and you can even lose a husband, a parent, because of your marriage, or a brother or a sister. Even that, people take it. I don't think that relationship, for me personally, I wouldn't allow, that kind of friendship to affect my destiny or my future, marriage and all that. I would put premium on the marriage and the possibility of having children over the relationship with Della. She may be hurt, and normally, anytime somebody marries, somebody somewhere is hurt. But I know she hasn't tried Della. Probably she may not react the way she probably fears. I know of two couples, who were in a relationship earlier, but their relationships broke, and everybody married the ex of the other. But let's say that I will name, let's say A, B, C, and maybe A and B were in a relationship, C and D were in a relationship. Both the relationships broke, so A married C and B married D, and all four are good friends now. I mean, they're family friends, and everything is well between them, among them.
Wow, wow. Is there a fear that perhaps Akosua might be considered ungrateful? I know that you lose friends, you can even lose parents and so forth because of marriage, but Akosua is talking about how much Della has been a help to her, helped her get a job, has supported her through all kinds of things, including difficult previous relationships. So is there not a concern here that perhaps Della and others might see Akosua as being ungrateful?
But the lad claimed that Joe was only a friend and that he was not even her type. So if you have said that, then there's no, I mean, I don't see the reason why she should hold on to Joe and make a big deal out of it. After all, you said the man was not your type and he was nothing special to you. So if Akosia marries him, it's to me, it's in order. And there are people who do a lot of things for us in the course of, our seasons of life, but they don't have to hold on to us. Normally, what happens is that when you do good to somebody, God also raises another person to do good to you somewhere, not necessarily the person you did good to. Yeah. So if I'm good to you, because I've done something for you, God may also raise somebody to do something for me, not necessarily use you to, bring back to me what I did for you. So it's okay.
Okay. Okay, Mama Flora, in the absence of any other thing that you want to add, I think I see the way clearly now, and Akosia can go ahead and make a firm decision based on the thoughts that you've shared. So we're grateful.
Thank you.
So, I would say that young people in relationships should watch themselves. Not get when you are not married, don't get deep into the relationship, because when something happens and the relationship collapses and doesn't end in marriage, then you are more hurt. It's, having sex and, deep, kind of thing. So we should remain brothers and sisters until we are sure, until we get married, so that we don't get hurt. And we should know that not all relationships, not all premarital relationships end in marriage. Most of them don't. And we may not keep the same persons as friends forever. With the changing seasons, we also have changing friends, so that's okay.
Saki, thank you so much for your illuminating advice.
You're
we
welcome.
Definitely appreciate it. Well, I've learned a lot, haven't you?
I have as well. I have as well.
So I guess we know what to say to Akosia now. The experts have declared that really what you have to do is think about the future. Which relationship is more important to you in the future? That is what you must base your decision on, according to our counselor this morning, Mama Flora Saki. So in this case, I wonder, which of the two relationships would you consider to be more important for the future? Are you one of those who believes that no relationship should destroy a long-standing friendship? Old friends are the best and so forth. If that is you, is that the relationship you would pick for the future? Or would you pick the marriage? Very interesting thoughts there from our viewers as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's something I'm taking out though. The bit about the friends you have now may not be the friends that you continue to keep. You make friends along the line. Depending on the point where you get to in life, you may make new friends. I mean, your old secondary school friends may not really be the friends that you want to keep now, because you're not on the same page. So, yeah, the bit about losing friends.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't want to lose a friend over like
over
a boy.
A guy, right?
Yeah, that kind of thing. I don't want to be in that position.
Yeah. But you know, if your friend would abandon you because of a guy that she actually doesn't like or want to be with, then is she really a friend? No, absolutely not. Yeah. Yeah. Because and if I was in the same position, if you wanted to date somebody that I don't think I'll mind, I won't mind. Because when it's over, when I say it's over, it's over. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And sometimes I continue to be friends. I mean, I'm friends with everybody. Sometimes you even forget about the misunderstandings that you used to have and stuff like that. Yeah. But of course, we put this issue, we've got a poll on this because we also want to measure what people are saying. So could you just details of that poll that we ran on this? So we put up a poll. We said, I'm in love with my friend's ex. Should I go ahead with the relationship? We didn't give any details. We didn't tell the story. Simple question. I'm in love with my friend's ex. Should I go ahead with the relationship? And this poll has been up now for 9 hours. Okay. It's got another 14 hours to go. So far, 49% say yes. Okay. 51% say no. So it's very, very close. Very, very close. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put the details of the story on our Facebook page and on myjoyonline.com. So you can read the letter for yourself. And then you can also contribute to our poll. And see, I want to see whether once people know the story, whether their views will be the same or whether they will change. But at the moment, very close, neck and neck. 49% say yes, I would go ahead with the relationship with my friend's ex, and 51% say no, I would not go ahead with the relationship.
My friend's ex, I'm still thinking about it. Well, I'm happy that we don't have the same taste. Now, I don't have to struggle with this.
It's on Twitter as well, this same poll,
oh,
but with very different results. Very different results. Same question on Twitter, and 57%, a clearer majority, are saying yes, and 43% are saying no. They wouldn't go ahead with the relationship with a friend's ex. It's a very interesting dynamic there.
It is.
Twitter clearly has a different view on this. But again, we will put out the details of the story so that you know, those of you who may have missed it at the beginning of our segment can also go and contribute to our poll. And hopefully this has been helpful for Akosia. And hopefully she will know.
You know what? This has been really great. This has been really, really, really good. If you're watching us and there's something going on that you want to bring us in, then you can write to us. Just write to AM, Dear AM. And we will share with you in terms of where to write to, the email address, shortly. But I can also write to AM, right?
Of course you can.
Because sometimes you're Roland, like you've got some weird ideas.
Write to AM. We'll deal with your queries.
I will. I'll write to AM. Okay, so that's it for this segment. We hope that it's been absolutely helpful to you. So if you've got something on your heart you want to share with us, of course we want to hear it. So you can write to us. Just go to our Facebook page, the Joy News Facebook page on Facebook and on Twitter. And you can always write to us. We will be here, God willing. Kojo, do you know Ohima Chum Ampofo?
I think you are referring to one of my favorite gospel artists, Ohima Mercy, right?
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. We've had a lot of artists pass through our show, but we've never had Ohima Mercy come here on AM.
This is historic.
Yeah, but she's on the show this morning.
Wonderful. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I am too.
Yeah, can't wait to learn more about Ohima Mercy. And that's going to happen when we come back right after these.